Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan,
And George and Lacey.
and we're finally doing an update on our pond.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Whoa. All right, guys, it's been about 2 months since we actually got the pond delivered to the house. And of course, we've had a ton of things going on. We've been working, then we went on vacation, then we had to come back and work a bunch more. Jack was finishing up track. Tons of stuff going on. And of course, we were uploading a bunch of videos from our vacation and stuff like that. But we wanted to kind of bring you guys up to pace here of where we're at. We're going to take you through here, show you everything we've done so far. Sound cool?
Yes.
All right, I'm all the way back in the corner of the in-law suite. You can kind of see the beta rack and everything is over here kind of in the kitchen side. Kind of wanted to back up, and Jack went way over there in the corner so you can kind of see how this thing is. So the lining to this thing is about 7.5 feet by 5 feet. And we kind of decided what we were going to do, because we had all these gray walls in here for everything to match, is we just used cement blocks, cinder blocks, right?
Yes.
So it was a little bit of a Tetris game, but basically what we did is we had a big, huge rubber mat. So this is kind of like what we used here. This is kind of like gym mat. We had a bunch of this left over for when we turned our garage into a gym during COVID and everything. So we had 2 big, huge pads. We set those down. We cleaned them off. We set them down. We didn't want the blocks or anything, or the tile like punctured a line or anything by chance. So anyway, big, huge thick line, and we put it down. What we basically decided is this is, what color is this? Elephant ear or something like that? We painted this like when we first moved in here. It's had a lot of multiple functions, but basically we decided, hey, we're gonna turn it into this pond thing because we're not really using it right now. The previous owner had an in-law suite. I'll back up over this way so you could see this is kind of like a kitchen. He brought his parents in here. And we do use like the refrigerator and stuff like this sometimes. We have parties and stuff like this. But basically we're just kind of saving it in case we ever need it for like grandma or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice room. We don't really use it. Jack kind of studies over here, and it's a cool little thing. And it gets a ton of sun. And we thought it'd be an awesome place for an indoor pond because, you know, I mean, we live in Cleveland. It's really nice and beautiful out there right now. We get about 3 or 4 months of that. That's actually the massive calla lily that we got Pamela for Mother's Day last year. And it is gigantic because it was inside this whole time, sitting in front of this door, getting beamed with sun and sitting in the warmth. But we actually just put it outside a couple of days ago, and it's doing awesome. It's about 3 times the size it was last year because it was inside. So we kind of wanted to show what was going on here. We basically got cinder blocks because they're very inexpensive, and we thought that the gray matched and everything. We put a wall in the front, we put a wall in the back. Now we also used cinder blocks. Obviously, we talked about the fact that we're probably gonna make a vacuum out of this. Initially, we're gonna put a big, huge dome, right?
Yes.
And we looked into domes, and we were gonna call this Thunder Dome.
Yes.
I'm still gonna call it Thunder Dome. It's an awesome name.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's just not a dome.
It's not a dome. The reason we decided against the dome, it was incredibly expensive.
Yeah, and it was just not practical for the type of thing we wanted to do.
Yeah, we really wanted to be able to sit in front of this thing, and we're gonna have some nice chairs here. Obviously, we haven't decided what kind we want, and kind of look through it, you know, and see the back. The filter, ultimately, we're actually using the canister filter that James and Mallory gave us with the 75, just temporarily. And so we had this set up before we ever even left for vacation. We still had the turtles over there. We started working on it. We brought the filter over here. We put them in here when it started getting warm because we didn't have any lights or anything. We did, however, order those. We got 2 of these heat lamps and UV light combos with stands off Chewy because they had an incredible deal. I mean, an incredible deal. Chewy's awesome. And they literally got here in 48 hours. Those are going to go. So we built in these little islands. We use cinder blocks for the inside of this as well. And as you can see, we put rubber on there. As you can see, this thing gets beamed with light. We actually already cleaned this once. It grew a bunch of algae on this side because the light comes through into there. But anyway, we took the tank, we surrounded it by bricks. We did a little bit of a different thing on the side. We're not exactly sure how we're going to do that. You can see we do have some extras. Those bricks were about, those small ones are like 30 cents a piece. These larger ones are about $1.25 a piece. These top ones here that we used, I think they're like $1.30, and these were actually on sale for like $1.99 or something. So anyway, the cost was pretty cheap. We wanted to make it this way because we want to be able to sit on it and lean on it, and the wieners could come up here. And they actually do come up here and lean on it, but they don't like going up there because they hate water. Lacey will not let you put her on there at all. She will freak out, but she does put her little paws up there and looks at the turtles. And George will go up there if you put him up there, but he'll just kind of hang out and then jump off in a minute. So anyway, what we did is we put those cinder blocks here and put rubber underneath them. And the reason that we did that is we wanted the turtles to be able to go through and the fish to be able to go through. We wanted to take up the least amount of room. So the turtles and fish are going to be able to go through those blocks. They're also going to be able to go through this way. And also if they come through from on the vacuum, to go through this way. And, you know, this one here, we got a little bit different. We didn't want the concrete slabs here because we didn't want the turtles' shells getting scraped when they went up on it. So we got these little nicer ones. These were a little bit more. They were like 2 for $5. And what's going to happen eventually is the water's going to go up almost to the top of this black. And then we're going to suck the air out of that and make a vacuum. So this is going to be 300 gallons. That is a 90-gallon tank right there, which we decided on because we got a great deal on it, and it had a lot of height to it. Ultimately, we were looking for like a 110 like we have in the other room, but nobody has any 110s, do they?
No, they don't. It's
Like-
very rare.
They're hard to find, and they go up in price tremendously from the 90s.
Some people can custom make them, but again, that's really
Yeah,
expensive.
but these 90s, honestly, I don't even remember how much we paid for it. I think we got it for like, I want to say $200 or something.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good deal. All we did here, you'll notice that we put a bead of silicone right around the edge here.
Just started doing forces.
Well, our thought process behind that is we did not want the water to come up to the glass. We wanted it to come up just to the black. We just thought it would look neater and be able to easier to clean the glass because, of course, turtles are going to splash up here, which they've been doing. There's dude right there. That's Larry. Say, hey, Larry. You can see him underneath there. We kind of have this set up so that it ripples on the top, so there wasn't like a buildup of, you know, proteins on the top and stuff. Actually, this thing's been doing an awesome job of this, but we're ultimately going to put a filter. It's going to be like a waterfall through there, so you'll be able to see through it. And then the waterfall will be behind this. And anyway, we're going to have different kind of things. We're going to have plants going all the way around this, all kind of different things. But we wanted to kind of show this first. So this is as far as we made it. We got the foundation. We put the bricks around it. We think it came out remarkably well. We haven't even really like cleaned these. We're probably going to kind of clean them with steel wool and vacuum them real good and just give them a little bit of a cleaner look so that they match. The only thing that we did is we put silicone on these two middle ones to those two, because this, as you can see, does bow out a little bit here. Not horribly and not a big deal to us, but we didn't want it to push, so we lowered the water, silicone those, so instead of being 22 pounds now, they're attached to those, which are 34, so now it's like 68 total, and just those two weighing that much kept that from bowing out more from when we fill it all the way. We did experiment that with a little bit. So anyway, everything's pretty much done, kind of like for now. But this is pretty much how it's looking. And we really just didn't film anything because we were just doing a little bit at a time, kind of experimenting and doing things in between where we were busy and stuff. But basically, where we're at with this is we're going to be taking the stands and the lights and putting those up over there for the turtle islands. And these are just little old lights we had on the old tank. We're going to start experimenting with taking the water out of the vacuum and filling that, and we'll be doing that all in the next video. So putting the light fixtures on, sucking the air out of the top tank so the turtles can go up in there. And again, a lot of people are going to say, hey, aren't the turtles going to get trapped in there? They're so not going to do that, are they, dude?
No, they're not. I mean, they have a lot of room to move out of as well.
They're so smart, too. We've had vacuums on
They're pretty tall.
other tanks.
If they can't fit in there, they're just not going to go.
Yeah. I mean, what they'll do is they'll go up in there. We will leave an air pocket so they can breathe. And they'll realize, hey, this is a cave. And then they go back down. And it's really cool. You'll see when we get it all filled up and stuff. Now, here's the other thing that kind of stinks. We had all those plants that Cooper's Aquata sent us, remember?
Yes.
Now, when we first set this up and put the turtles in it, we had all those plants in like big Rubbermaid containers over here, and they were doing awesome. They were multiplying, and they were in the sun. We're like, so awesome, we can't wait. And we put them in here. We fed the turtles before we went to bed, woke up in the morning. I walked out here, and I was like, where are all the plants? There was a ton of plants all around here. Water lettuce, the water hyacinth. And I go, Jack,
They just ate it.
they just ate everything in one night. There was like one tiny little leaf left with like a bite mark in it.
Yeah,
I woke up Jack, and I go, dude, am I like dreaming or something? Did we put those plants in there?
yeah, no, they just ate them all.
They ate them all in one night.
Yeah, it's just
And they were sitting up on the rocks right here. And if you've never seen what a turtle looks like when it's really full and fat, it like pouches out of its shell, like where its arms and legs go in, right? And they were just sitting on the rocks like, ugh, like I'm so full. I didn't realize that they would eat those. We just fed them. They were eating well, but apparently they liked them. So the other thing is, we were going to use them. We didn't know how that would go. We're not sure that we're going to actually put plants in here because we do want to be able to see the fish and turtles a lot, and we do want to be able to see them when they come up in here. We are most likely going to be putting plants around the outside of the pond in the room and possibly on the edges here. Specifically, we want to grow some tomatoes year-round because, of course, we don't get fresh tomatoes in Cleveland very, very much, do we? No, we don't. Even Lacey likes tomatoes, don't you, Lace? Lacey eats anything. She's hilarious. George is like, no, I'm picky. I don't eat anything. But Lacey eats everything.
He likes his little canned beans.
Yeah, he does like canned beans once in a while.
Dog pellets.
He's so funny. But anyway, they're hilarious. When we feed them and Pamela comes over here and she likes Larry and she says, oh, Larry, he gets up there and they're hanging on the edge and they're looking over the edge and they're really funny. So anyway, I don't know that we're going to necessarily have the filters go into the plants or have like aquaponics, but we're going to have plants in this room. This is facing south, so this gets beamed with sun. In the morning, it comes in here. In the afternoon, it comes in there, and that's year-round. We do have a light fixture in here with a fan. And, you know, honestly, again, we're going to have heat lamps hooked up here. They've only been in here for like a week, and they're doing fine. It's been pretty warm. And actually, we opened these windows, and there's a screen, obviously, but that UV came right through, and they were basking in the sun right here. So we'll probably have the UV lights and the heat lights like on timers in the summer, just for at night for a couple hours, because they're going to get that. But in the winter, you know, obviously we'll make it longer and everything. All the cords are going to be completely going around the back. The filter will be in the back. Everything will be in the back. And again, we may have plants. This is just kind of, we're just doing this as we go along. Now, these two big boxes were a new company that we found out about called Pet Flow. And we're going to put a link in the description. And here's what we got from those guys. We decided that we wanted the light blue. We really like the light blue. We want to have some kind of substrate in here. We decided on light blue gravel, okay? You have dark blue gravel in your tank, in your room. And it's exactly the same frame, exactly the same company as this. But we were like, hey, we don't want that dark blue. We want something light.
So it can match with the pot.
We want it to kind of match as best as possible. They had an incredible deal, guys. They sell these 25-pound bags. We got 6 of these, 150 pounds, which, again, may not even be enough. We may have to get more. We'll see once we kind of get it in there because, obviously, the bricks and everything take up space. So, you know. But anyway, we got 150 pounds of this from PetFlow. Shipping, tax, well, actually, it was free shipping. Taxes and everything was like $121. I think that comes out to somewhere around 80 cents a pound or less for the color we wanted. We had a hard time finding this color. We also had a hard time finding people that had this much in stock of the 25-pound bags. Chewy, which is where we got the other stuff from, and most of the pet stores and everything around here, they have 5-pound bags when you start to get into the colors that are different. And then you end up paying an extravagant amount.
Yeah, you don't want all the clown colors. And too much doesn't.
Yeah. But for these colors, so normally what they do is they have 3 different kind of blues. They have this one that's like a nice middle blue that we really like. They have that dark blue that we didn't want in here because we want to be able to see the fish and we want to be able to see the turtles when they're in there. And then they have an obnoxiously light blue one that's, it's not even cool at all. I don't even know, I wouldn't even know how to explain it. I mean, it's so light. It's almost a white. It's so light blue. it looks really goofy. So anyway, we got all of these. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rinsing all of this. We're going to be adding this. That's why the water's down a little bit, because we wanted to make room for the gravel. So we're going to be adding all the gravel. We're going to be raising it up, sucking the air out of this, doing that. That'll all be in the next video. And of course, hooking up the light fixtures and all that. Are you so excited, George? Are you so excited about finishing the pond? They really do like it in here. When we come in here to feed the turtle, I think they just like the pond food too. But when we come in to feed the turtles, they're sitting here with their hands up on the edge and they're looking at the turtles and everything like that. It's really kind of neat. It'll be really cool when this is full and the turtles and fish can come up into here and we'll be able to kind of see them. Now sitting down, let me see your chair, buddy. This is Jack's little kind of gaming chair that he does homework on at this desk. Of course, it's a work desk now, but when you're sitting down here, this is what you're seeing. You're going to see across this, right into this 90-gallon tank with the window in the background. Of course, the fountain slash filter slash waterfall, whatever is going to be over there. So that's what you'll see. And we're going to have a couple of chairs set up here. So obviously you can come close and you can look into it like this. And then, of course, you can just look straight ahead. So we're very excited that this has all kind of worked out well. Lacey's checking it out right now too, huh? She's like, where's those turtles? Don't eat the turtles. The nice part is she can't. She can't really jump ever since she hurt her back, which we still haven't done a video on. We keep saying we're going to. We'll have to do a video on Lacey's story because everybody keeps bugging us about that. But ultimately, she kind of comes up here with her hands and just looks in. She can't really jump up there, and she won't jump on and off things anymore because, you know, it bothers her. So she can't get to them in any way. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, can't they get out? They actually can't. This is very slippery. And if they put their hands up on it, they just slide right off, the turtles.
The turtles' anatomy is that they have their appendages reaching out the sides. So
yeah.
They're not long enough. So it's basically like this.
Yeah, if they can't grab it like right in front of them.
They can't grab it. And even if they could grab it from this length, it's too slippery.
Yeah, it's totally slippery.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah, there's Larry right there. Hey, buddy. He's a little bit kind of shy sometimes at the camera. You see how clear this water is and how this deep this is. This is 1.5 feet deep, and they are just loving it. The other guys are kind of hiding right now because we fed them already. But yeah, this is Larry. He's doing awesome. Hey, Larry. You can see that their claws just kind of slide off that. So when they come up to this round area, they just slide off. So even though we're going to have it filled up all the way there to come up to there. So anyway, I think that brings everything up to date. As far as what we're going to use for filtration, these are two huge pond filters. Well, this is one huge pond filter. This is a 800 gallons per hour pond filter that we got on the clearance rack of Mark's for $24.99. Literally like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
And what does Dad say? Hey, you know what? If there's a good deal and we think we might use it down the line, let's grab it and throw it in the fish closet. So we got a whole fish closet full of stuff like this because you never know, right?
Yep.
So that's really awesome. And then this is another old one that I think we got at a pet store, I want to say, in a clearance aisle. This one is smaller, but it works pretty good. We've kind of messed around with it. It's got a little dial on it. We may end up using the small one. We may end up using the big one. We may use them both. We may have maybe two fountains, maybe one big, one small. We don't know exactly how we're going to do that. We're probably going to go for some gray pots of some sort, concrete-looking things that'll kind of match the whole decor. But again, that bucket and everything's going to be gone. That's going to be gone. And we're going to be messing around with all that. So far, so good. I'm very excited to see the gravel in there. And here's the other thing, guys. We have a sink right here, which is really cool because in this in-law suite thing, there was a whole kitchen. This is our old Python. I have two of these. And so I have two fittings. And honestly, you can just buy this tubing. So I'm going to have a smaller Python. It's going to be over here. I'm just going to keep it right underneath this sink, hooked up to there. We're going to be able to just use that for the beta tanks and for the pond. And then this big, huge Python is going to be for the other ones. Now, we also recently got another vacuum because Higer sent us one, right?
Yes.
So Higer sent us a one. We're going to be doing kind of like a review of it, but we're going to be kind of, because this Python's like 25 years old, 30 years old, just like all my fish equipment, aquarium stuff. We're going to be doing a kind of a contrast and comparison because they have a brand new one. This one's really old. We're going to be comparing and seeing which one's better, how they stand up to each other. And you know what? Since we already have a couple, even though we're going to be checking that one out, Jack's getting tired on a Friday night, do a little yawn in there, huh? Yeah. And we're going to be maybe giving that one away because we got a big thing coming up here, don't we?
Yep.
What's coming up?
You get the giveaway.
Giveaway for what?
Giveaway for, I forget.
13,000.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
13,000 subscribers. Jack's tired.
Don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, he doesn't like being put on the spot after a whole week of school and track and work, right? So anyway, we got a Higer. We're going to be putting that in a video, and we're going to be giving it away at the end of that video. So keep your eyes open for that. That's going to be a cool giveaway.
If you have a small tank and you don't need that, well, you could give it to someone else.
Well, you could use it for a small tank or a big tank, but it's just got a long tube you could reach through the house or whatever. But it's really cool, and they sent us that, and we're going to be doing that. So that stuff's all going to be coming up. We just wanted to bring everybody up to par on how this is going. It's really cool when the turtles are sitting up here. They're kind of like hanging out over here and over here, and we're very excited. We're not exactly sure how this is all going to work with the fish, because we know Stygi's not interested in fish because she grew up with them, and you know, Larry's never seen a fish in his life.
No, so I don't know how he's going to react.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to be interested or not.
I don't think he's going to be able to chase it because we're going to put feeder.
He's slow.
Goldfish.
Yeah, he's
so
slow.
So he might just get mad and stop trying. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
As an experiment, we're going to put a couple feeder fish in here just to kind of see what happens before we like get into doing anything extravagant. Now, Kame also has never seen a fish in her life. So Stygi has a lot of fish friends. Kame and Larry have never seen a fish in their entire lives. So we'll kind of see what happens there. They're like, enough with these fish already. So anyway, we're really happy how it all came out. It's going to be really cool. We can't wait to fill this thing up and everything. As you can see, all of the wiring, all the outlets are going to be back behind here too. That's actually about a foot space. You just can't see from over here. So you can actually go back there and get a lot of stuff done. There is a vent back there as well, so that, you know, the heat will come up in the wintertime and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the deal, guys. All right, so it's late Friday night and Jack's tired. Sun's going down. I'm not going to make you do anything tonight.
No.
But this weekend we're going to work on this. We're going to be shooting a video of all the stuff we do. And obviously we're going to be doing a lot of lighting and stuff, but that'll be later on when we get this stuff done. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can see what happens next. And of course, we're going to be doing a lot of updates on our tanks, a lot of projects this summer. Really exciting.
Yep.
Jack's like, I just want to go to bed. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care. George, are you eating the pond food? George, are you eating the turtle food?